What's up, Raider Nation? Shea Neal back here with another WWSU interview segment right here on Dayton's Right Choice and your home for Wright State Raider sports. I'm extremely excited today as we have the Wright State women's volleyball team in studio getting ready for their big-time conference opener against Northern Kentucky and taking time out of their day to hang out with us after the non-conference season comes to an end. So we'll let them introduce themselves as we pass it around the room. We'll start on mic 2.
Hi, I'm Megan Alders.
I'm Lainey Stephenson.
And I'm Ellee Ruskaup.
Well, thank you very much to all of you for being here today. It means a lot to us. And first thing I want to talk about is this was without a doubt. I've been here for 3.5 years. I've really been, I think, a big part of doing the volleyball stuff here for probably 2 years. But this was without a doubt the toughest non-conference schedule I've seen since I've been here. And I know that obviously a lot of coaches will say that they want a tough non-conference schedule too. I can't remember where I was at. But toughest non-conference schedule I've seen in my time here. Obviously, you hear a lot of coaches say that you want to get prepared for conference season with a tough schedule, with a lot of tough games that kind of challenge you early on. But I think it's also important to have, confidence through winning and through playing well. So what's the balance that you think that was found with this schedule of playing tough competition, but not worrying about, just getting beat time and time again?
Yeah, for sure. I think us returning basically our entire starting lineup last year, that's probably what drove them to make this decision for non-conference this spring or this fall. We lost Mallory, our one lone senior last spring. She was a really big part of our team, and we figured that we would be able to bounce back enough to schedule this hard non-conference this fall just because we do have the remainder of the team is remaining and still here. So I think that they scheduled pretty tough, as you said, and I think we, for the most part, stepped up to the plate. There was some games that we did bobble, and we did end up losing those, but those are really good teams, those losses that we have. So I'm really happy with how we competed in our non-conference so far.
Yeah, and I also feel like this team, especially just like the Wright State volleyball program in general, loves to be the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
We love to just go out there and play with no sort of like pressure to win a match.
Mm-hmm.
So being the underdog is always an advantage for us.
Yeah. That's a great point because I know last season it was kind of the revenge tour. I think isn't that what we called it, Parker?
It was.
Yeah,
it really was.
But coming up short in the tournament, we're like it's the Wright State revenge tour. You run the table, you go undefeated, you win the championship.
Yep.
This year it's different. It's not different expectations necessarily, but it's a different situation where now you're the hunted instead of the hunter. So how do you keep that mindset of having your backs against the wall and being the underdog after defending a championship?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely like cool that we got to go into a preseason that we were the underdogs in after going through play, like conference play in the spring and winning games like all the time. And so going into preseason and it being tougher, it was really nice to see like how we competed against teams like that.
Absolutely.
And I think just with the whole going in this year, like season being the hunted, I think that our mind shifts have shifted, and I think we now know that every gym we walk into, there's a target on our back.
Mm-hmm.
I think our expectations are a little bit more reasonable with, in the spring, we didn't care whoever you were, we were beating you, it didn't matter. It was the revenge tour, and I think this year we're being a little bit more realistic in the sense that teams are just as good, if not better, than they were 3 months ago, and everyone's going to put up a better match than they did in the spring against us, and I think that we most likely will not go undefeated this fall. I think that it would be great. We would all love to, but it's not something we're going into this fall being like, well, we have to be undefeated. And I think that our mindset has shifted in a better way, being like, they're a good team. They're respected. Like, it's okay to lose if we know that we left everything out on the floor.
Right. And it's something that I think you see with a lot of sports, not just volleyball, but when you are the defending champions, when you are, projected to come in first place like that, any team you play on the schedule is going to give you,
their best
their
game.
toughest fight.
Yeah,
it's their Super Bowl,
sure.
if you will. So
yeah.
I think it's very interesting that, like you said, especially with which we'll get to a little bit later, but the return of fans. I mean, every single match almost feels like it's going 4 or 5 sets, where last year, it's 3-0 sweeps all the time.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Yeah, and it's almost like we worked so hard last year to like get that number one spot, and like now we just have to prove it. So now it's like we know we're the top dog. We know we have to go out there and like give everyone our best match because we know that we're number one and we should play like we're number one.
Absolutely.
I definitely think teams in the Horizon League are going into our game against Wright State going, we want to beat this team.
Yeah.
This is the team that we want to beat.
Well, especially, I mean, it's always tough to play on the road, but especially, I mean, now these teams coming into McLean with fans in the gym. I mean, I'm sure every team comes into that saying, if we can beat Wright State at McLean, I mean, we can win anywhere.
Yeah, we've built
So-
like a great atmosphere there the past couple of years. So I mean, not last year since we didn't have fans, but
Right. Yeah.
Years before
The
that.
crowd of 15 last year.
Yeah. That was enough,
McLean's a
man. It
great
got the
place
job
to
done.
be.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But I mean, I think it's very interesting to see, like you said, that it's the different expectations where it's, like you said, it'd be really cool to go undefeated again. But I mean, there's so much, it feels like every single sport in the Horizon League is just getting better and better year after year,
Yes.
where who the heck had heard of UIC volleyball until last year?
Right.
And now it's like they're a roster full of freshmen and sophomores and they're, defending runner-ups.
yeah, they're a great team.
And I mean, Northern Kentucky, obviously, they're good at everything, but
Always.
they're especially good at volleyball. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's really cool to think that, just as a fan's perspective, it's cool to see that there's 5 or 6 teams across every sport in this conference. Where it's like any given day, I could see this team winning the championship. So,
Yeah.
For sure.
and I'm sure as D1 athletes, that has to be something that thrive or that brings out the best of you competitively as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 big wins, obviously, that we picked up in non-conference. I'm on the roster.
You are.
That you picked up in
You are.
non-conference season against the UD Flyers, of course,
Right.
which we was awesome. Was pacing back and forth in the Fairmont High School
Yeah.
press box as that was happening. So, and then also against Michigan State. So, 2 powerhouses in college volleyball. Has that really set in? Not necessarily that you won those matches, but the fact that you're considered, on that level now.
I think with Dayton, in that sense, we just had something to prove. Their revenge tour all over again. They came in the spring and they won by 2 points in the 5th set in our gym. And it was our errors, really. Those last 3 points were our errors. We hit 2 balls out and hit 1 ball into the net. And I think that kind of just stung because we were like, we're better. Like, we were better. We had it and then we blew it. And so I think that kind of stung and settled. But I mean, after those first 2 sets, after that 2nd set, we looked at each other and we were like, holy crap. I mean, it was 25 to 12. Like, we didn't even break the teens. And we went in the locker room. Dan said a few words, was just like, we got if you want to play like this, that's fine. That's your product, but this isn't Wright State volleyball. So just clean it up. And I don't know what shifted or what turned or if it was our mentality, but we just looked at each other and we were like, we're winning this game. And then when we went into the 5th set, I looked at everyone and I was like, you guys, when we win, we're dogpiling.
Right.
And we have went back and rewatched that 5th set so many times and we were down 8-12. And then we ended up winning by 2 in the 5th, which is exactly what they did in the spring. And we just flipped the story. And I think it hasn't really necessarily set in that we played that level. We were just we were the underdogs. That's just when we thrive is we were the underdogs. We're not supposed to do this. It would be extremely cool if we did. But that mentality is just what we try to have every day in the gym. Yeah. And it's hard to always capture it unless you're in that moment, unless you're playing that opponent and being I can do this. And I think that it hasn't necessarily set in. I don't think it will until we're 45 being wow, we beat Dayton at Dayton. You know what I mean? But right now we're just pleased with the outcome of both of those games.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think one thing you can definitely say about this team is that they're not going to give up. I mean, we were down 2 sets and I didn't think anyone was okay, we're losing in 3. You look around, everyone on the team was determined. We were going to go 5, and whatever was going to happen in the 5th set was going to happen, but we knew that we had to get there.
Yeah.
And I think everyone just stepped their game up just a little bit, and everyone individually stepping up just made the team a lot better.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And I think that's interesting that, I mean, it's just from an outsider's perspective. It's just, you think how, oh, goodness. I had a really good, dang it. Okay.
Never giving up.
Give me a second.
Consistent.
Never give, oh my God. That's awful. Oh man, that's really bad.
It's okay.
Whatever. Okay, we'll move on. But I think it's just it's really cool to see from just thinking about what a turnaround it's been for this program as a whole. Where just a couple of years ago, it was a team that hadn't seen the Horizon League tournament in almost a decade.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it was a team that had never won an outright championship. It was a team that had never been to the Horizon League championship game, and now it's a team that's won in the NCAA tournament and is beating power programs on the road. So it's just unbelievable to think about the growth of this program. And I mean, being all three of you being a part of, at least a part of that has to be more than just the results on the court. You're part of history here with this program.
And I think going off of what Ellie said, just like our culture, I think if you're not doing your job to the best of your ability, like, the person to your like left or right, like they have your back, they have confidence in you, they know that you're going to do your job. And I think like the Michigan State tournament, like I wasn't playing my best and Megan was like, no problem, I'm still going to get my career high against Michigan State. So like I think that it's just like the confidence and like knowing that we're like someone's going to perform, someone's going to step up, someone's going to have your back even when you're not having your best day. It's just always reliable and nice.
Our team is just filled with competitors, and when we are all competing at our highest level, we are pretty unstoppable. It's pretty crazy. The gym every day in practice is just so competitive. I barely can put a ball down in our gym in practice, and we just have a lot of heart, and it's crazy. Like the Dayton game, the Michigan State game, like it just really shows like what Wright State volleyball really is.
Absolutely. And I did remember my point, so there we go. I got it back. But I think from an outsider's perspective, it almost feels like when you're up 2-0, you have to finish it in 3. Because if that other team gets a set, like all the momentum is just completely on the other side. So I feel like I've seen more reverse sweeps than I've seen team that was up 2-0 wins in 4. I feel like it just always flips the script. So you just got to finish it when you're up 2-0.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that I've definitely noticed. But yeah, I mean, that's good. I mean, I feel like a common trend that I've heard, not just at programs here at Wright State, but just programs that I've covered in general, is that competitive nature that you have with each other, where I think, it's good to bring out the best in each other, where every single day you treat it like not just, a practice, but, you're trying to be the best in the gym on any given day. Yeah. So I think that's a common theme that I've seen across a lot of really, really good teams. And I think that's definitely part of this team's, foundation.
Right.
Yeah,
for sure.
And since we do have like a smaller coaching staff, I mean, we just have Allie and Dan and they're amazing, but we also like help each other out. We coach each other. Like our other outsides will tell Megan what's open. Like our other setter, Katie, will tell Lainey like, hey, run this play. Like we're always like coaching each other and helping to like better one another.
Oh, I'm good.
All right.
Back. Are you guys singing or am I actually?
No. You're good. We're just kidding.
Hey, I don't know.
I would love to, but it's not great. So.
I mean, it's my secret talent, but
Speak for yourself.
Acapella group.
All right, Noah, you're good.
Hey, I can
Wright
find
State volleyball.
Let's go. So you guys have had a couple of pretty big wins: Dayton, Michigan State, Sanford, things like that. But when you think about, because you're a senior,
We both are. Me and Ellie are.
I'm trying my best. Okay. You're a senior.
Yes.
You're a junior?
I'm a senior as
You're
well.
a senior as well, and you are
I'm a junior.
Junior. Okay.
Yep.
So when you guys think back on, like, I guess your top moments from playing for Wright State, is it those big wins or is it the more funny moments that you've had?
Ooh, good question.
That's
a
great question.
Because when I think about like my favorite moments from you guys, it's you guys singing like you guys were beating them by 2 sets, and I remember because the COVID for whatever the regulations where they had to clean off the court.
Oh yeah.
And you guys were sitting there on the bench, and Sanford, like the camera showed them in the huddle, like frantically trying to come back and pull the game back, and you guys just singing the Jeopardy theme song on the audio, and I lost it.
I would say for me, I'm going to get emotional because it's my senior year and I'm leaving. But I would say it's like the relationships. Like volleyball is like a plus to having like the second family. Like the funny moments and like just the memories you make are just like so much fun. And winning is so much fun, but I feel like this family that we've built is just so much better.
Yeah, I talk about it a lot. Like at least I write stuff on social media about it a lot. We don't really talk about it because we're in denial that, people are leaving and that it is people's last year. But just kind of along the lines of Ellie, like, we aren't going to remember that we, like, lost to Illinois State in 5. Like, we're going to remember, like, the teams that we did beat, the relationships that we've built together, and, like, all the funny moments that we have, like, just throughout the whole COVID year, just hanging out with each other. Like, we would double dutch, we would hopscotch. Like, we've just done, like, a bunch of fun things together outside the volleyball gym that, like, has made our bond kind of inseparable. And, like, yeah, those wins are just, like, a huge plus. But I don't think if we didn't have the relationship and friendships genuinely that we have outside the court, that we would be as successful as we are on the court.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot more to our team than the record. Like, we are way more than our wins and way more than our losses. And it's, like Ellie said, a very emotional thing. Every year when you lose a player, like, and they end up graduating, it's sad because we just built a whole year, 4 years, 3 years worth of a relationship with them. So it definitely, I think, is cool winning games and stuff, but it's the behind the scenes, like, fun moments for all of us, I think.
Well, and I know that no other college program is run the way ours is run. Their gym doesn't feel like ours. It doesn't look like ours. Like, when we say we're a family, like, we truly, like, are a family. We treat it like a family, like, from
Mom
top
and dad
to bottom.
and kids.
Yeah, like, it's very much so, like, a family culture. And, like, even with our athletic director, assistant AD, like, you guys, like, everyone is just so involved and doesn't care if we lose the game. Like, they all just care if, like, we're happy together, like, and winning is just a plus to everything. So
Yeah, and like mentality is like a huge thing of volleyball. Like, you know how like fast momentum can change and stuff, and that all stirs from mentality. And I feel like if we didn't have such a strong bond, and if I didn't trust everyone around me, I wouldn't know like how my mentality would like keep up with the game. Like, I feel like since our mentality is so strong, we're able to like be the underdog and beat Dayton and beat Michigan State because we know that everyone has each other's backs.
Yeah.
And building on that, is that why you guys keep coming back to play volleyball all the time? Because I'm sure you guys played volleyball in middle school and high school and maybe even longer before you came to Wright State. Is that why you keep playing volleyball? Because of the relationships you've made here?
I would say like just when I was born, like my mom played in college, my sisters played, my mom started my club. Volleyball's just always been my way of life. I never imagined not playing volleyball. So like when I decided to commit here, it was more of a like, there was no doubt in my mind that I was going to play volleyball. So having to think about, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to put on a jersey, come next December. It's just a really scary feeling because that's always just been like my friend. So building those relationships and everything is a plus. But like Ellie said, like, yeah, that's for sure one of the reasons that I keep coming back. Like if we were losing regardless, I would still like show up the next day. We would all still, because we all just have each other's backs and are there for each other.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's volleyball experience is different. I mean, a lot of the girls with the previous coaches struggled a lot, and I think since they struggled in that way mentally, it was tough for them to choose volleyball. But, I mean, our first year was Allie and Dan, so we never really got, like, the struggles that they did. But, yeah, I've always loved volleyball. I've always loved being a part of a team. I can't imagine. I better be on some sort of team when I have a real-world job because I love being a part of a team, and so that's why I keep coming back.
Yeah, I have grown up in a big family, so competing was always a thing in our house. And so I knew I wanted to play volleyball in college. I also played basketball and softball, so I didn't know which one I wanted to play yet. But when I met volleyball, I was like, that's the game for me. This is what I want to do. So I can't imagine not putting on a jersey, and thankful I have another year to not think about that. But I don't know after that what's going to happen for me.
Yeah, so for you two, volleyball was always in the cards. Like, that's always something you're going to do. Was it the same for you as well?
I would say so.
Okay.
Up until my junior year, I was a little discouraged with my recruiting process. It was just recruiting.
It's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare. The whole process is just a nightmare, and it really got to me. I was like, oh, whatever. I'm just gonna go to college. And then I'm so thankful that Allie came along because I was actually her first commit when she got the job. So that's pretty exciting.
That's some bragging rights right there.
I know, right?
Yeah. And how did you guys all get recruited? Was it all by Allie for you guys as well?
I was recruited I had emailed Allie reaching out. It was kind of like my only coach that I did like really reach out to and like wanted to try to play. I didn't think that I could play Division I volleyball, and Allie was like, dude, yeah, you can. And so her and Dan were like, why do you think you can't play Division I volleyball? Are you kidding me? So they picked me up, and I was like, I love them. I loved the team when I met them. I love the atmosphere, the culture. So I was like, this is where I want to be.
And then I was recruited by the previous coaches. So I committed my sophomore year under the old coaches. And they got me, Jenna Soriar-Libero, and Grace Hauker middle. And those are the other three seniors other than Ellie. And it's only an hour away from home. I committed for other reasons. I didn't really commit for the coaching staff, but a lot of these new commits have committed solely because of Allie and Dan and the culture that they've created with the help of us. And I think that's really, really cool because during COVID, they couldn't even be on campus. They couldn't meet any of us besides virtually. And 3 or 4 of them have committed before even seeing campus, touching foot on campus, just solely based on the relationships they've built with the coaches and that they've built with us.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Shea has already asked about this, but you said stuff about COVID. What is it like to have fans back in the stands while you guys play? when it was like playing at UD and having the pep band blare music, and you guys aren't used to that.
Honestly, the band got me hyped.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready to
I was
go.
out on the
Look,
bench.
I'm not the biggest fan of UD, but you got to give them credit where credit's due. I was a band kid since I was in 5th grade. Their pep band is fire.
Yeah,
they were actually pretty good.
Fire.
They were
Their
good.
student section was not hyping me up, but their band was hyping me up.
Yeah,
Like they were getting me so like just like dun dun dun.
Yeah.
because I think I saw you guys dancing a couple times.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Oh god,
That's
we'll
music,
like
I was
we don't
dancing
care.
for sure.
Yeah.
Music.
That band
Oh,
was so
man.
good.
They were so good.
No, but definitely with the fans, like the first game that we played in front of fans again, we all came in the huddle and we're like, whoa.
Ew.
Like,
Like, it was,
why are
like,
people
weird.
cheering for us right now? Like
This
that's
is-
usually our thing. We had to bring our energy and stuff. And now when we pack McLean and Saturday night's a great example, it's going to be loud in there and there's going to be a lot of fans. And that's just a cool experience to get to have again.
Yeah, and I think fans like can shift momentum. I think they can either give it or take it in certain situations that we've experienced this fall. But I think in our last game in 2019, when we went on that really hot streak, we were hosting, and we played NKU our the first match, which was the semifinals. The fans were crazy. It was the biggest our gym has ever been with crowd attendance, and I think that NKU fans were there, our fans were there. And it was really overwhelming. And you almost felt suffocated when you were out on the court because we weren't used to playing in that environment yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once we had our COVID year, we really were just like, okay, it's just us. We need to rely on our own energy, create our own energy. And then I think coming back this fall, it's not suffocating as it was in that match. It's just like, well, they're just here to hopefully give energy, hopefully not take it away.
Right. I remember when we won the Horizon League tournament, we all screamed, dogpiled, and then it was just like silence. And I'm like, if our fans were here, like it wouldn't be silent for like 5 minutes. Like they would have just been like cheering. And we were just like, wow, like we just won a championship and no one's here to really see it.
3 minutes.
I honestly,
cheering, and then it was
I honestly think that if our fans were there when we won the championship, they would have been in that dog
Oh,
pile.
yeah.
with us.
Like
I
it was-
don't think they wouldn't have been out of their seats. You
it
know?
was the most surreal experience because like personally, like I don't really notice the fans. Like
Yeah, me
fans
neither.
or not, like they don't really like affect me that much. But just when they weren't there, when we had that huge accomplishment, it was like, whoa. Like we just did that kind of like alone.
Yeah.
And having them back this year is just like, hey, like come hop on the train. Like we're all going to do this together. Like it's all just like a big family again. Like our fans are like a huge part of us now because we didn't have them in the past
right.
last year. So now they're a huge part.
With fans coming back to the stands for me, I feel actually a little more free to cheer on you guys because as a sports reporter, when I am there in the media seat, I am normally asked to not cheer and to stay silent. I have been called out a couple more times than I would like to admit for that, especially when you guys beat UD. But, really
Whatever. Wright State fans are listening to that, so you're allowed to be biased.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but it's been really, really nice to have fans back in the stands because I feel a little more free to cheer, and it seems like you guys are getting a lot of energy from that. As
Yeah.
well.
For sure.
Those are all the main questions that I have.
So I know we touched on this for a quick second earlier, but with recruiting, I have kind of like a different kind of question. When you were recruited, not only from Lainey and Dan, Allie and Dan, but by the previous staff, what was the big selling point on like why do I want to go to Wright State? What was that kind of? This is why this is going to be awesome. What was that biggest excitement factor for all of you?
Yeah, for sure. I think the old coaches really sold this campus to me, and they really sold, well, you're going to come here, you're going to set records, you're going to break records, you're never going to leave the court. And just as an athlete, that's something you want to hear. You want to be told, well, you're going to come, you're going to play, you're going to make an impact, and you're going to make history. And I was like, oh, okay, like for sure. Because obviously you have other offers. You have bigger schools that want you. You have smaller schools that want you, different divisions, but Wright State was an hour away from me. I knew Celia Powers had an offer, and then Hannah Colvin was here, and they both played at my club, and I was like, I mean, that seems like a pretty good deal to me. So I committed knowing that Hannah Colvin was here. Celia Powers committed the next day because she knew I was going. So it was more of a like, I'll go if you go. And she was like, all right, I'm going to go then. And so then the selling point for me was just, you're going to go, like, you're going to play the whole time. You're going to, like, break records and do all that. And that's what every athlete wants to hear. So,
A lot of my recruiting process like went through like my brother being here, so I was on campus a lot, and I liked the campus.
Yeah.
But I never really thought like, oh, this is where I would go to school, because I never once again thought I had like the chance to do that. So once Allie and Dan reached out, I went and I met with some of the girls on the team, and I instantly like connected with them. I went on Lainey and Jenna and Grace's
so long
official,
ago.
and it was my unofficial technically. And I loved them, and I knew I'd be playing with them. And I just personally, for me, it was the team. That was all I needed to see to know that I wanted to play with them.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. So when I committed, Dan had not even been hired yet. So it was just Allie. And I come on my visit, and she's like driving me around. And she goes, honestly, this is like my first week here. I don't really know where I'm going. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So like we were kind of like experiencing it together for the first time. So that was like really cool. But honestly, I've always had like a female coach, and just Allie, she's so like educated in volleyball, and like she's so like not fun, like she's fun to be around, but she's so just like welcoming. And so you just obviously want to be a part of that. And Teddy Sauer and I actually played club volleyball together. So when we were back home in Fort Wayne, I was like, how do you like it? And she would just talk amazing about the team. And so like honestly, it was the team and Allie for me.
Yeah, and I talked to Allie about that in the spring, about what is the recruiting like from the coach's standpoint. So I like to get that, from both sides. But talking club volleyball or high school volleyball, whatever it is, what for you guys was that toughest transition point from club or high school to college Division I? What was something that you're like, wow, this is new?
Yeah, I think the pace is just so much faster.
Yeah.
And like now being in college volleyball for 4 years, like I don't even know anything different. Going home in club in the summer when I play at my club, it is so slow, and like people just don't try as much as they do in the college court. It's a little bit frustrating when you go home after being in our gym, but I know that the pace is just extremely faster. You have higher expectations, which is fine. But the pace for me, I was like, holy crap, that ball's already coming back at me. Like it was just a lot faster.
I came from more of like a smaller like school for high school, and it wasn't that we were like bad, but it definitely wasn't like we were as competitive as we are now.
Right.
And then with my JO, I played on a not very well-known JO team in the beginning, and then went to a known JO team. And then I came into college, and I had a 6'4" right side
Blocking
up against
her.
me.
Yeah.
So it was like,
Yeah.
it was a reality check. Definitely like right away, I was like, oh, so like I can't just hit the ball straight down. I got to like figure out some shots and stuff. So that was definitely my biggest like reality check for sure.
Yeah, I would say like the intensity of it. Like if you're in high school or club, like some girls just play to have fun, play to like, oh, like I want to stay in shape. Like this is just like a hobby to me. But if you're playing like D1 volleyball, like like this is basically your job.
Yeah.
And the intensity is just different. Like the practice of like a college gym is just so different compared to high school. Like it's like everyone is there to get better. So the intensity for me.
Yeah, and one thing that when I was told that I was going to be doing volleyball by Shea was, well, first thing I thought was absolutely not. I know nothing about volleyball.
Yeah,
this is going to
right.
go so bad, but
The more the merrier.
but
You love it now.
we've all brought up UD, and Shea brought it up. Noah stirred the pot, and now
Absolutely.
I will kind of touch on it here for a second. Intensity. You guys just talked about intensity. That was one of the more intense things I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Noah talked about the band a little bit. They bothered me. I know they were really good, but they bothered me.
Yeah, me too.
But I think the resiliency, like Shea talked about earlier, was something that was really impressed with. It really impressed me. What was it more of a going in? Were you expecting them to be as well? Yeah, obviously they're a tough team, and you're expecting that. But were there nerves or was there like less energy? Because I know you guys played a match earlier that day and they didn't. So what was kind of like the mindset going into that match?
I think what's been kind of not necessarily hurting us, but hurting us is, at least in non-conference, we were like, well, we have to conserve energy. We have another game tonight. So we wouldn't necessarily go our hardest like for both matches that day.
Right.
And so I think we really focused on the Central Michigan game. We were like, we got to get this done in 3 because we have Dayton tonight. So we ended up sweeping them. And then for Dayton, I don't recall like me being nervous, like anything like that. It was more of a just when I looked up at the scoreboard and it was 25-12, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Because I knew we just weren't playing how we wanted to play on that platform with all of those people watching. I think we obviously were very resilient. We ended up obviously, winning.
Right.
But just the atmosphere of that gym was really, really cool. We have hecklers behind us from UD saying just nasty, mean things about
I saw some of that.
our personalities.
It was
Not
super
even
intimidating,
Yeah.
honestly.
it was
Searching us on Instagram.
yeah. But I don't there were no nerves. It was just like play volleyball like you know how to play volleyball and we'll be
Right.
fine.
Yeah. So I'll hand the mic back over here to Boss Man, but that was losing my voice the next day and going into Illinois State that night was this is gonna be rough. But
yeah.
Shay, mic's yours, buddy.
Yeah, sorry Parker
in
about
the
that.
in the
Yeah,
long
whoopsies.
Was that back-to-back solo 5-setters?
Yeah, Illinois State was. And so
What
was
were
Dayton.
what were you even saying when there was like those long pauses? Like I was like what is going on? Why are we taking so long?
During what?
Illinois State, the game was paused. The
Yeah.
game was
Oh,
paused
yeah, it was
like
ridiculous.
the game was paused like 10 times for like 10 minutes.
I would-
One time 30 minutes
I
probably.
would either talk about previous matches or the upcoming schedule or just go to commercial. I'm sitting there
Oh.
He's
"What?"
like, commercial.
I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is
Same. That's exactly. I was like, what's going on?
You come back, you play maybe 2 or 3 rallies, and then it stops for another 5 minutes. It's like,
What's going on?
what's going on?
Yeah.
But, that's what I was.
So they were out of rotation, and then they were like, they're out of rotation now, but we had already served, so then we had to go back a rotation. Like they basically just like mess all our rotations up.
That game is just a blur to me.
Let's just
Like, I
forget
think
it
I
from my
blacked
memory.
out.
And I was just like, we were dead. We just be Dayton in 5. Like, let us
Yeah.
live. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they came to play. Illinois State came to play.
Yeah,
That
they
was
did.
good.
come to
Their
play. They
outsides
a
were
good
good. That's a good team. They'll do well in their conference.
Yeah, I think they were projected to win.
Yeah, they're good.
team, as they should.
Well, yeah, it was a little different for me because it was the one ESPN Plus game I did this year, and we only get one break a set for ESPN Plus, and we had
okay.
already used it. So, dude's just talking in my headset. He's like, "Keep stalling, keep stalling."
Oh no.
And I'm like, well, conference schedule starts in 2 weeks, and if we're going at the rate we're going, it'll be right upon us.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
so funny.
It was so. I'm just like, I was sitting there, I'm like, I don't know what the heck's going on here. I'm
Yes, it's
like, they showed a picture of the Illinois State coach, and then they showed a picture of Allie, and I'm like, well, they both look irritated, and I'm kind of irritated too.
So funny.
that's awesome.
So accurate.
It was so. I'm just like, I'm waiting for Nick to come over here and be like, hey, pipe down.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Stop it.
She was like a issue with why that was the way it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that game took like probably 3 hours. Should have taken
I
an hour and a
know.
half.
An hour and a half.
It was
30 minutes.
brutal. Yeah. 30
On a good
minutes.
day.
Would have been nice.
Good day.
Get in, clock out.
Yeah.
Easy day at work.
Yeah. No, that's great. Okay. So this is kind of a personal question, but I figured this could be a good
Okay.
Okay.
group of people to ask.
Okay.
2 things that I need that I want to know how to get.
Okay.
An oh yeah shirt.
Oh,
Where do I get
God.
that? And then I've been asking this for 2 years. I can show my resume. I can put all my best clips together. I
Practice player.
I think I've earned some chocolate milk.
Oh, you told me about that.
I'm like,
At
get
Bob
in.
well,
At
yeah,
Bob Grant, are you
both
listening?
of them are.
At Bob Grant.
Yeah, DG.
You should at Bob Grant on Twitter and just like post your resume. Be
There you
like,
go.
This is all the
Sure.
things
A
that I've
pic of
done.
my resume.
Yeah.
Every single game I've called.
Yeah.
I mean, I could take this one off my back for you right now if you want.
Yeah.
Hashtag no caption needed at BG.
Yeah. Well,
No caption needed. Hashtag oh yeah.
Right.
yeah.
You know what to
Maybe-
do, BG.
Maybe on all of your Twitter posts from now on, you should just be hashtag oh yeah.
Question mark.
Yeah.
Question
And
mark.
wait and see if he will
Well,
ever
I've already
notice.
kind of stolen one of his things where he does proud AD, and now every time something good happens here, I do hashtag proud GM.
Oh,
I love
that's
that.
funny.
That's
So
good,
I'm
that's
like,
good.
if I start doing, oh yeah, he's gonna be knocking on my door like, hey, that's my thing.
Well,
Like,
then you could be like, "Give me chocolate milk,
right,
thanks."
we'll make a trade. I'll stop. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Crazy.
Yeah. But those oh yeah shirts look great. They do.
Yeah, Meg has one on right now.
Yeah.
They're just like, if you get all
Fantastic.
tournament team, like he just wants to even in the classroom.
Absolutely.
Like if you get good grades
Good
or
grades.
you do well in class, like whole
I like
hashtag
people
oh
who
yeah
Didn't
you.
bomb a final. She totally expected to bomb.
Yeah,
yeah.
hashtag
Oh,
oh
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, he's the best though.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I mean, just this whole, athletic department staff, coaching staffs. I mean, I feel like it's I haven't been to a ton of different places, but I feel like it's a very unique culture
Yes.
where there's just like no pressure to just be a full-time athlete. Like
No.
it's, you get the college experience, you get the proper, emphasis on academics, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like this is a really good place for athletes to thrive, and obviously the success on the court and on the field and all that stuff shows. So,
Yeah. Well, and we talk about like their motto is PSA, which is person first, student second, athlete third. And we'll always joke. We'll be like, Katie, like she's a what is she?
A biology major.
A biology major. We're like,
Shout out
Katie,
to my roommate.
You're a student first today. Like you're a student, then person, then athlete. Just because.
yeah.
But
Stress.
they are. It's really a culture, a family culture from the top to bottom.
Yeah.
Because there aren't any any pressures to be more than the best version of yourself as a person.
Right.
So.
Yeah, one of my best friends was a biology major here, and I'm just like,
Oh.
literally up
yeah.
until like 2 a.m. every night studying.
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
like, and now
crazy.
he's applying
Could
for
not
vet
be
school
me.
and stuff like that. And I'm like, woof, like I'll just take my comm degree and get out of here.
Well, that's literally me.
I'm like, I'll get paid
Megan
to talk
too.
to people.
Megan too.
Me too, guys. Me too.
Hey,
Getting it out.
right? I feel like I'm decent at talking to people, so why not get paid to do it?
Right, literally.
Yeah, but it's insane. I mean, we had somebody that, one of the guys on the soccer team, Zion Beaton, isn't he pre-med?
Yeah,
Jeez. Like,
that's crazy. We have 2 bios.
yeah.
Aaliyah, freshman, is bio too, and Katie wants to do something with genetics.
Yeah, it's genetic counseling.
Wow.
She's like, well, COVID really inspired me to like.
She is a beautiful soul. I mean, Katie is just
really
the best.
she's
so
the best.
pure.
She's
Like
so sweet.
she's gonna change the world.
Yeah, and she always has your back too.
Put
And
that
she's
out
someone
there.
You can always
Katie
count on.
Meyer changing the world.
She's
Changing
just
the
so
world.
smart too. I'm like, Katie, you got an exam today? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, good luck. Because I know she just.
She had an
It's
exam
hard.
today, and she comes out and she's like, "I got a 75," and I was like, "Hey, that's pretty good." Is that before or after
Yeah.
the curve?
That's my
That's
extra
good.
trip.
I'm like,
That's
"Is that
good.
before or after the curve?" She was before, and I was like, "Dude, you're probably gonna end up with like a 90."
Well, and she's like, I got 10% higher than the average of the class, and I was
Yeah.
like, so you're doing great then.
I'm like, "You are doing good."
Yeah.
I really.
Right. I'm like, I'm
right.
shooting for that every
Right.
Good
exam.
job,
I
Katie.
really hope my parents don't end up listening to this because I'm the exact same way. Where it's like I come out and it's like, well, you got a 77. I'm like, well, I was expecting a 65.
Right, so that's good.
All
That's
right.
how
You
you
gotta,
got
you gotta set your
Whoa.
expectations.
Let's go.
low.
Whoa.
That's 3 points away from being a B.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
low
I'm like-
expectations. So when you exceed them,
Absolutely.
you're just happy.
That's the name of the game right there. Set your expectations low enough so that you constantly beat them, and you're like, you know what? I'm
Yes.
doing all right in the world.
Ellie, you did that literally last week.
I do it all the time. I'm like, I just bombed.
She's
that
the
test.
worst type of person because she's like, I did so bad, and then she'll get like a 90, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
I'll get
She's
like
the
an
Ellie.
A.
worst type of person.
Yeah,
I'll
when it
miss,
comes
like
to
2. I'll be
school.
like, I bombed it.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh.
Then she got like an
That was
87.
me.
And I was like, Ellie.
Me in high school was I totally bombed that test. I got an 85. Me in college is I totally bombed that test,
You
and I
got-
legit got like a 35.
Yeah, you're like, I actually
Woof.
bombed that test.
I'm surprised I spelled my name right.
no, I've been
so
blessed
funny.
with like really good guessing skills. Like I'm like superb at guessing.
Really?
Like
She is.
if you
Yeah.
give me 4 options, I can narrow it down to 2, and then it's a 50-50
50-50.
chance, and I'm normally right.
That's
So,
that's the name of the game.
that's
If you can get it down to
talent.
two
I'm a good
guesses,
guesser.
like
I'm a
yeah.
good
She's a
guesser.
very
That's
good guesser.
secret
I'm a
talent over there.
That's a
terrible
secret
guesser.
talent. Okay.
Absolutely. No, I feel like I used all my guessing powers in high school, and I
It
hate that
ran out.
I hate that I did that because it's like how hard was it to really get
You
a
drained
decent
out.
score on the GED?
Right.
And now I'm here and I'm like, oh god, it could be any of these 3. It's
Any
like,
of these
oh
3.
man.
At least she got rid of one of them.
And then don't even get me started on the freaking short answers where it's like, oh no, fill in the blank. And it's like, oh my goodness.
I feel like we don't have tests though anymore.
No, we really don't.
No.
Especially like comm majors. Like
Yeah,
I feel
no.
like everything's a speech or a report.
Speak
Yeah.
for
Paper.
yourself. I just took an exam.
Well,
and
what's
I'm
your
a comic
focus?
When you get to like your like senior stuff, yeah.
Oh, good.
I
All right.
feel like it's all
Yeah.
like
No,
writing.
yeah, I had a fill in the blank test on Thursday, and I wrote underneath, I hope spelling doesn't count. So maybe he'll like laugh and give me the right
the
grade.
pity point.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I mean, you like went for
LOL
it. Yeah.
+1.
Yeah.
You like went for it.
That's funny.
Yeah, no. Have you taken media criticism yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, that's
I took
the
that.
best class ever.
Wait, weren't we in the same class? Or
We
am I
might
making
have
that
been.
up? Yeah.
The
Lainey's
final,
like, I hate that
legit,
class.
the final exam in that class is watching a movie and writing a paper on it.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
like, for 2 weeks, I was surfing Netflix, and my roommate was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "My final."
Right.
That's so funny.
Literally, I'm like, we don't have a finals week. Like,
Yeah, no, I'm totally on board with any professor that wants to be like, your final exam is just going to be a paper that's due the week before final
Yes,
week. And
I'm
you
like,
know what?
say
Just make it easier
less.
for me, right?
right.
Thank you. All right, let's get to NKU. We've
Let's
wasted
do it.
45 minutes.
I know.
and we still got to get to you singing at the end.
I
so.
know.
Acapella.
NKU, there you go, acapella, pitch perfect style. NKU, obviously very, very good.
Yes.
What is the mindset heading into tomorrow night? Tomorrow
Win.
afternoon, tomorrow evening, whatever it is.
Well, like I said earlier, I would just say that last year, we really worked hard to get this number 1 seed, and now we just have to go out there and prove that we earned it.
Right.
And obviously, our backs are going to be against the wall, but we need to be able to shoot ourselves off of it and get going early in the set, because I think the momentum is going to be a huge thing,
Okay.
especially when we play NKU. Momentum is always changing, and we always need to be able to get it back.
This is kind of a spontaneous question. We can get back to that one about NKU, but who do you think? And it's okay if you can't answer this, but who do you think is the biggest competition, UIC or NKU?
I would say
They're very
post
different.
postseason is NKU.
Okay.
It's just they are always a second half team. They always perform well in the tournament. You can always expect them, at least in our time here, to be in a final. And that's who we were preparing for in the spring.
Right.
They ended up losing in 5 to UIC. So we were like, say
Wow.
less.
Right.
Thank God, because they've knocked us out
Yeah.
other 2
Honestly,
years.
Yeah.
So I would say NKU style of play is our style of play. UIC is completely different. They're pin oriented. They push stuff fast to the pins. And they're just different. But NKU is more our style of play.
I also definitely think when we play NKU, it is a way more intense game
Yes.
for the fans, for us, for the coaching. I feel like it's a rivalry, and
Yeah.
that's just what it is.
Yeah, and that gives me a great opportunity to rant about how I'm gonna have to go down to Highland Heights on a Monday now for basketball.
Yeah,
season.
that's
what
so
the heck is up
unfortunate.
with that? And then the home
That
game
sucks.
is Super Bowl Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a lot of people are
Wow.
upset
Yeah,
about
people
that.
are really
Like,
upset
the
about
bad
it.
So now I
schedule.
want it to be at 2 p.m. so I can watch the Super Bowl, but I also it's NKU Wright State. Why is it not a night game on national TV?
I agree.
We've been doing that for 3 years.
Right.
Why are we stopping now? And okay. So NKU is the second half team.
Yeah.
Would that is the mindset heading in you got to take care of this team in 3? Is the mindset
I don't think there's a mindset of what we need to, the timing that we need to get it done.
Yeah.
It's just we need to get it done. And I
Yeah.
think that the biggest thing for us going into this game is going to be play our game, make them play our game, and then pull out ahead.
Absolutely.
Right. And I think it's important that we play, we focus on our side of the net. They're going to be doing good things over there. They're going to get their kills. They're going to have good digs because that's who NKU is. They're very similar to us.
Mhm.
But we just have to focus on what we're doing and how we can basically score more points than them.
Right. So you mentioned NKU and UIC are very different.
Mhm.
Would you say NKU plays more like you?
Yes.
Yes, for
NKU
sure.
is our style to the T.
Yeah.
It's them, Cleveland State, Oakland for the most part.
Okay.
Milwaukee. We all play very similar styles of ball.
Okay.
I think UIC is very, very different. Youngstown is even a little bit different.
Mhm.
Just because they're a little bit more slow, a little bit higher, slower tempo.
Mm.
And UIC is just kind of like an Illinois State that we play, just quick. Everything is fast.
Mhm.
The sets always are kind of inside. You don't really have time to adjust, set up your defense, and that's part of their game plan.
Right. Well, something I noticed about UIC last year is they kind of almost play effectively sporadic.
Yes.
Where it looks like they're constantly out of position, but in reality, they're making the other team out of position.
Yes.
And
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
UIC forces the other team to play their style.
Mm.
It's hard for us to play UIC because we can't be play like us, so we can
Right.
play better than you, but we are forced to play like them,
Right.
and that's where
And
things
then
kind of
beat
can
them
go
at their own
wrong.
game.
Right, yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, something that I've learned over the time is it's kind of lame to talk like straight sports for an hour. So we had a sing off here earlier.
Oh boy.
I don't know if we're gonna actually do a sing off here, but
I feel like we should.
I
me
feel
hit the
like
vocals.
I feel like you
It
absolutely
needs to be
feel
should.
like-
with like multiple
Nothing
levels.
gets people
Okay.
more hyped for an NKU game, an NKU match than you know.
Oh, we mow it. Oh, we mow it.
What'd you just sing?
All right.
Like it needs to
Like,
have
I
like
feel like if I
different-
had like headphones on.
If it's a song that we have like approved in our system, I can legit get like the instrumental in the background.
No way.
Oh, let's do
Let's
it.
do this.
So we
All
want
right,
to pick
what
a
song,
song,
guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. So what
What's
song
like
are we gonna
the-
rock?
Are we all
with?
gonna sing or are we gonna like take
I feel like
Take
we
turns.
should just go in when we feel it, you know?
Yeah, like
Okay.
like be the
Let
back.
the
okay.
music
solo,
speak to
like
us.
that'd be great.
Be whatever you want to be.
That's ideal, actually.
What's a good song though?
Oh, that's a good one. I sang that in the talent show in high school.
I'm like, should I pull up the lyrics
We
so I
are
don't
the
mess this
reigning
up?
champions.
What'd you say? Don't stop believing.
I'm like, should I pull up the lyrics?
Who was singing that last night? Grace was like, up
She
and
was trying to
down
sing a
the
country
boulevard.
song, and she goes, "Just a small town girl." And
Like,
we were
tried
like,
to do it in
Grace,
a
that's
country
not a
accent.
country song.
Like you're singing
Or
Journey
like Grace,
just in a
that's not a-
country accent.
Oh, my face is so hot. I feel like we could pick an easier song.
I know. I'm like, I'm pulling up the
That
lyrics.
one's easy.
I got this.
Like I don't have the vocals for that.
People.
I know. Can I warm up? Whoa. I like that song.
Anyway you want it, that's the way.
Need
That
it
one's hard.
any way you want it. Ow. I mean, we could just sing it.
Yeah, I feel like acapella.
You think?
Yeah, I mean,
Are we singing that one a cappella? I feel like we should do Bad Romance.
oh, Bad Romance would be good. We should just go through. No, this is what we should do. Each person should do it once, and then we should do it one time together. That's good. That.
Bad Romance.
Yeah. All right, we got it.
Like,
You're up
you
first,
try.
Lainey.
I'm not first.
Not like try, like make it like. I don't know. Do you, girl? If you want to be funny.
Ellie, you can go first.
I don't think I was gonna go crazy.
Okay, but I feel like we should go like low to high or high to low.
I feel
like
we
I
should-
could be like, oh.
Can I do the deep one? Ooh. I feel like.
I feel like that's good.
Okay, I'll start
that.
low. I'll start low. You get higher, and then you're the highest.
Guys,
I feel like Megan shouldn't be that
Okay. I gotta practice it. It's gotta be vocal.
Okay. I'm
high.
starting.
Are we all going?
I feel like, can we just sing it? Like, can I do
What's
the
the
middle?
lines?
You go highest.
Wait, what's the next words after caught in a
That
bad
was
romance?
good.
What? That's a middle. So you're high,
Bad
you're low,
romance.
I'm middle, Lainey's high.
What's the next word after like we all sing it?
Call.
Rah.
Rama.
So I feel like we should pick a better song.
Why? We're not gonna go through the whole song.
Want your bad romance. Okay. Should I do
What do you think?
The TikTok.
Yeah. Okay, are we all doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, all together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like at
Okay.
once. Am I the highest part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the highest part.
Who's the
Ready?
middle?
I'm the low.
All right.
How high is high?
Can we get a countdown? Give us a countdown.
Should we scoot back, you think?
Just do 3, 2, 1.
It's like a 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
Yeah, a little.
Oh yeah, you could get in this.
It's kind of slow.
Put some vocals in, guys. Come on.
That's not happening, bro.
Okay, ready, Ellie?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
All right.
I couldn't do it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we need the countdown.
yeah.
Oh,
caught in a bad romance.
Oh, caught in a bad romance.
Whoa. Caught in a bad romance.
Whoa. caught in a bad romance. I feel like that sounded fire. That little
Dude,
harmony.
my first was going, and then I was
that
like,
harmony at the end.
That was low key dominant. Like
that was pretty good.
Thanks.
Encore.
I'm impressed.
Thank
That
you.
was really good.
Karaokeing is
All right.
definitely Wright State Volleyball.
Shay, I have a
secret
question for you.
Oh no, this never ends well.
Reverse.
If you had to have a walk-up song, like what would your walk-up song be?
talent. Yeah, good question.
Okay.
Good question.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
in high school, I used two. I had.
You had a walk-up song.
I played baseball for 2 years till I threw out my shoulder.
Blue.
But I did. We Own It from Fast and Furious.
Nice.
That was the one when I came out from like the bullpen, and then my walk-up song when I hit, which wasn't very often because I couldn't hit, was "Dead or Alive." Jazz.
Oh,
Cartier.
nice.
Mhm.
Cool.
So now, if we're thinking, I don't know. I really like Renegade, like Sticks. Like if you've ever seen a Steelers game, that's what the Steelers defense comes out to. Like,
Really? I'm thinking of
Like
like
the dig
Renegade.
is up,
Renegade.
That's what I was
They
thinking of.
finally.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that's
good.
good.
Thinking like
Wait, what they
TikTok.
mean TikTok.
Yeah.
Like Renegade.
Yeah, that was good.
No. But yeah, that's up there for sure. I feel like in high school I was like all about like it's got to be hip hop. It's got to be hip hop. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I don't know. I feel like you can find a lot of rock from like
Yeah,
the 80s
rock
and
and
90s
roll
way
slaps.
better.
For sure.
So, God's Country? No, God's Country's pretty good. I mean,
So if I had to pick one, I think I would do. I'm just jumping in here, but whatever. I would do "Won't Get Fooled Again" by the Who.
Nice.
All right, you gotta sing a little
Nice.
bit. I don't know it.
Yeah, you got to sing a little bit of
Sing
it,
it.
Parker.
You
Come
know
on.
it.
Give me Tokyo Drift from Fast and Furious.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
okay.
All right, Megan, what would yours be?
Oh no, on spot. Can
Yeah.
I have time to think about this?
Nope.
nope.
I don't know. Like, let me look through some music.
Get inspired.
Ellie?
You go. I don't know.
I would say I don't know if this would be my walk-up song, but like my pump-up song, like that, like gets me going,
Mhm.
is "Win" by J Rock. It's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
that. It's been that for like
That's a
ever.
good one.
That was like.
I
probably-
think my walk up would be right above it. Get a little Drake going. on
Okay.
there.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, this is so hard, and I feel like I need to have a good answer.
Mhm.
Oh, it's not really like a pump up song, but it gets me pumped up.
Okay.
It's "Legend" by Drake, but it's like slow, so I feel like I couldn't.
That's
pick it.
honestly
like,
that's a good hype song.
Yeah, I feel like it gets
And I
me
feel like
high,
that'd be a
but
really
it's not
good
like a
walk-up
good
song.
beat. Yeah, I feel like it's cool. But then you would like if I walked up. So say we had like a walk up serve,
Yeah.
walk up to serve, and they played that, and then I missed my serve. It'd be like,
Wow.
so are you a legend or do you
Right.
just suck?
Right, I feel that. I feel that.
Well, and we were talking like we have like our
Hashtag oh no.
Yeah.
Hashtag
not. Oh yeah. Oh, no. Hashtag not legend.
Hashtag not legend.
No.
Well, our pregame ritual. Was
Yeah,
the
our pregame
300
ritual.
Violent
We
orchestra.
listened to the what is it?
300 Violent Orchestra.
Like the
Dun,
It's
dun,
like-
dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun,
Yeah,
dun,
yeah,
dun,
yeah.
dun, dun,
and
dun,
like
dun.
we are like
Isn't that like some that's Evan Longoria's walk-up song? What's that called?
It's nice.
Crap.
It's
I gotta look that
it's-
up now.
It's
It's gonna
in the
bug me.
background of like every like
every
I
hype
do,
video
unfortunately.
ever.
motivational speech.
That's
It's like in the
that
background.
literally should be
Yeah.
my Twitter bio. The king of useless information. Down and Out Tantric. That's the song. The dun 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 dun
Yeah,
dun
yeah,
dun
yeah.
dun dun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We listen to it before every game, and we just sit there and we visualize
That's a good one.
us winning.
That's a good one. Okay, so would we say we're more hip hop pop kind of vibes? Because I know a lot of people. There's like 3 different like main things that people do for walk ups.
Yeah,
I played baseball, so everyone was either hip hop or country.
country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know one
We
was
don't do
I
that here.
forget who did it, but it's famous. Jeez, it's like Adam something. You have to remember I was like 15, so
Right.
but it's like, girl, you look famous, like South Beach or Vegas. Yeah.
I know
yeah,
that's
yeah,
something.
Yeah, so that's
A love
I know that.
song was their hype up song.
Huh?
Was it like a love song?
No, it was a walk up song. Like they're coming up from the dugout.
and it
Oh,
was
but
like a
up to bat.
country song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
like pretty common.
Every single catcher on any baseball team ever comes out to a country song.
country. I
It's
don't know
got to be because they
why.
drive a lifted F-150.
Yeah.
Like their dad's on a farm. So yeah,
Right.
it's
Alright.
that's a stereotype that you
Respect.
can't break.
I think Jenna would have a country song as her.
Jenna
last
definitely
name.
would. So would
Yeah.
Jenny.
Yeah, for sure.
But not us three.
No.
See, that's a fun game. We can predict walk-up songs for everyone else on the team.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So what would Celia's be?
Oh.
Celia's would be a ladies.
Okay,
now, ladies.
Yeah. What was the song we listened
She
to?
likes
sophomore
gnarly.
year?
Yeah.
She likes gnarly.
No.
1, 2, 3.
Tell me
Fifi. Fifi, remember
Oh,
how?
right,
no.
She
Yeah.
loved that song.
She'd be like, play Fifi.
Fifi are gnarly. Her music's all over the place. Every time I get in her car, I'm like, Celia,
Yeah.
I've never heard this song. She's like, I love this song. I'm like,
Yeah, she is-
Celia.
A broad range.
Celia.
Celia.
Hell yeah.
Teddy's would be Out of Your Mind.
For
Teddy
sure.
loves
That's a
that
good song.
She loves that song.
That is
That's
a
a good
great
song.
song.
That's a
Great
really
Yeah, that's a
song.
good
what would,
choice,
what would
too.
Callie's be? Something.
She was talking about it the other day, and I couldn't remember it, or I would have already said it. But I mean, it was a good song. It was a specific part too.
I don't know what Callie's would be.
It would be something like that's like for that specific moment.
Yeah.
Like, she would want it to be perfect for
Yeah.
that moment.
Well,
Like
she would.
I
Yeah.
want these words playing at this
Right,
time.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Dan said that his would be Walk It Like I Talk It.
Yeah, I know. He's like,
Dan's would be.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
was like, imagine getting the ball and walking back the stairs like, walk it like I talk it. Walk
Yep.
it, walk it.
I'm like,
Basically
yeah,
anything
yeah.
from culture too. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, dang, Dan.
I could easily see Dan coming out to the Migos.
Allie's
No doubt
would be
about it.
That's
Allie's
too
would be
much.
best friend.
By Swati.
Or
That's
the
her.
one where it's like in the shower and she's
My type.
My type.
Yeah.
She like, we'll play songs and then she'll text me like weeks later and be like, "Hey Lane, like, what was that song you were playing on the bus?"
She
She's like-
listened to the Big Booty remix for
Well,
like a week
yeah.
straight.
Yeah, she
Cooking
loves
in her
Big Booty
kitchen.
remixes. Like, she's like, I'll be on like my like bike and I'll be like listening to the Big Booty mixes.
She's like, the kids love this song.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love this
So
so funny. And I'm just like, she's like, when did Best Friend come out? This was at our last tournament in Marquette, and I was
When did
like,
best friend come out.
like last year. And
Yeah,
she was
I know.
like,
She's
really?
like, that's my favorite song right now.
I was like, okay, well, it came out in March of COVID 20.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah,
She's so hip.
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
She
I
was
feel like I'm guilty of being like the old person stereotype because I work right next door to Hot 1029.
yeah.
And so I'll be driving home, and if I ever hear a song on there that I don't know, I'll text the guy and I'll be like, "Yo, what did you just play?"
Yeah, right. That's
And he's
funny.
like, "Man, you're 22. You should
you
know
should
this."
know, right? That's so funny.
I'm like, "I'm sorry." Like,
At least
my
I'm
bad.
like listening.
right? Like, I'm giving you ratings, my
Yeah.
guy. Like, yeah, no, it's totally. That's Parker. What do you think some of our staffs would be? Scotty's would have to be California Love. Have to be. Have to be. Morgan's would be anything Morgan Wallen. Anything Morgan Wallen.
Country.
Mm-hmm. She's a big country girl. She's gone to 2 Morgan Wallen concerts in Nashville in like the last 6
Wow.
months.
Nice.
So
What about
she ran
Anna?
into him at a bar too. So
Wow,
Wow.
that's cool.
I don't know why, but I feel like Pat's would be all the single ladies.
I love that. I want to meet
Pat's
Pat.
would just be some techno instrumental.
That's true.
Okay. So now we have Anna, who's listening in the office. So this,
Hey Anna.
what was that?
I said, hey Anna. Is she listening? Hey.
No, it's Anna.
I know. I said Anna.
She said, "Hey, Anna."
Hey
Oh,
Anna.
I thought you
Like-
said Hannah.
No, hey Anna.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it did
gotcha.
kind of sound like
So
Hannah.
if we get this wrong, she comes in here and beats us. But
Yeah, she's gonna beat you.
She scares me.
yeah, she's intimidating. There's no doubt about
She
it.
was so
Yes.
nice.
She is right off the bat.
I don't
Oh,
know if
okay.
she's listening to us. She's not looking at us.
She might be taking an exam.
We're not on the air.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
fair. She'll
okay.
hear this when it airs, and then
Oh.
she'll come after me. Yeah. No, she's really nice for 20 minutes, and then yeah,
Well, she's just keeping you in check.
Yeah.
facts. Facts. No, there's no doubt about that.
Girl power, man.
Yeah,
Love
we're
that.
probably gonna take.
What was at
Anna's
her
side.
wedding playlist? We got to think of something else at her wedding playlist.
Wedding playlist is not the same as
Was
a
it-
hype.
Let's groove.
Let's groove tonight.
That might be mine.
That's a great
That's an elite walk-up song. You come out doing the Macarena.
Oh, you know what would kind of be a good one was everybody clap your hands.
There you go.
Yeah,
and then
that's
everyone
a
would
good
clap when
one.
he came out.
Wait, did somebody at the Reds have that last night? Oh no,
No.
they just played that over the thing.
Yeah, no, the Reds. I mean, Joey Votto. When Joey Votto had Paint It Black, that was like the greatest thing ever because you could tell he was old. Like comes out to the Rolling Stones, but
Joey
no.
Votto's the best.
Joey Votto's like my favorite person ever.
He's so good.
And I will say, John,
Oh, sorry, Parker. That's
don't feel bad. He's a Dodgers fan.
Oh.
yeah, I don't feel bad.
Yeah, see,
I always love going to like the baseball games and like listening to all their walk-up songs. And I'm like, oh, I like that song.
That's
so
a
then
big
I add
thing.
it to my playlist.
Well, the thing is, so I'm a nerd like that, where like if I go down to the Reds game, I'm like, I know it's a 60-minute drive, so I'll like go to like YouTube and be like 2021 Reds walk-up songs, and then
Oh
make a
my
playlist for the
God.
drive down there to
Love
get
it.
hyped up.
That's so funny.
Where the Jonathan India, he looks exactly like Jack Sparrow, long hair, the beard, like looks dead ass like Johnny Depp. And comes out to the Pirates of the Caribbean theme song.
Wow.
Literally does. So every time he
Crazy.
comes up, dun 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 dun
Yeah,
dun,
that's
dun, dun, it's like
awesome.
everyone
He
in the
knows
stands
it.
like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, what a great walk-up song.
Facts.
That's like smart.
Yeah.
No doubt. And he's like, I wanted to change it to like Drake, but like the fans were like, go with
Loved
it. I'm like,
it.
okay. Yeah. But
Awesome.
no, I mean, I feel like you, and this is from someone who hasn't been an athlete in 6 years, but I feel like your athletic abilities are like doubled if you have a really good hype song.
Yeah.
Like there's
You
no,
just are automatically
definitely
like
just
people
unlocks
think you're
it.
like better.
it
Like,
unlocks like an
yeah.
animal in you. Like
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, you're good to go.
Crowd pleaser for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. I did shuffle on my crowd pleasers playlist.
Who's in charge of the music at the volleyball game?
Lainey.
You and I.
Well,
I'm impressed with it, to
Well,
be real.
at
Well,
the
me
game,
and Grace made that playlist for the games,
Mm.
and Colton will pick and choose.
Gotcha.
Grace is like obsessed with the 80s music, and I'm probably like second. I'm like, she's like way up here, and I'm like way down here. But
Yeah.
like, no one else on our team really likes the kind of quote unquote older music.
Right.
But she's like, I'm keeping Super Freak on there. Like, I love that song. And I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, Grace.
Yeah,
And,
and
like,
if
you
you ever
wanna
watch
have
Grace, she's always just like
dancing
singing
along.
Yeah.
Singing.
Like, she
Yeah.
loves it.
Well, I was
which
gonna
is-
say my favorite memory of like last season was something I think we've already talked about, but there was a timeout. You might have been down like 2-1,
Probably.
but it was just Jumpman was playing in the arena. I just see everyone in the huddle just like Jumpman.
Yeah. That's like, we are like, when we stay loose and like play
Yeah.
loose, like we play so
Yeah.
much better.
As
than,
soon
like,
as soon as we tense up and we're like,
Yeah.
wow, like
We're
whoa,
terrible.
we play
every
like,
time we hit a break, Parker and I are bobbing our heads. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, we're like dancing
Yeah,
on
we're-
the court.
We're coming up with new challenge timeout things for the bench to be
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to do like virtual sports, but like
You should totally.
golf
what's that called?
and
Yeah, like
baseball.
pretend to be hitting stuff.
Right. Well, you should totally do like what they do at like those MLB parks, where like every time like there's a challenge or like the ref like stops play or something, they have like blow the whistle.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
Or like what's the other one? Like when there's a challenge, there's a song for a challenge. I forget what it is.
The Jeopardy song.
what did Michigan State
Wasn't
do?
there another
You
one
guys
though?
could do like leapfrog and stupid stuff like that.
They were gonna we were gonna do like where like the bowling one. where
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
funny.
What did Michigan State play when like we made an error or something? They played a song and it was like
That's how
oh,
you know you messed
Ah!
up.
yes, like,
That's a good one.
Every
Yeah.
time. That's
Every
how
time.
you
That's
know
a good
you
one.
messed
And we
up.
were like,
And
we know. We
No, and then
served it
Just
out.
turns, look at the camera. I get it.
yeah.
No, yeah, and then they would like miss something, and we'd all be like, "Yeah, why don't you play the song?
Yeah.
That's how you know you messed up."
Yep. Oh
yeah, no,
man,
I know
that'd be
our bench
great.
was just singing along. Like,
Get
we got
somebody
the
to
point where it's
Bluetooth
like,
into the
yeah.
speaker and just clap back at them.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Real quick, can we just talk about how good Jason is at his job?
Oh,
He
he's
is
so
he
good.
is the
The
best.
best in
You
the
want to hear the
business.
saddest news ever?
What's that?
He's not going to be there tomorrow.
Oh no!
Why?
You heard it here first.
He's on his way back from his honeymoon or
That's
something.
okay.
Okay,
That's
that's fair.
you get
And
a pass.
he goes, well, Nick was talking to him about it, and Jason was like, I know, I'm really upset. Like, I try to get back there in time, and I was like,
He
Jason,
was
it's your
talking about
honeymoon.
like
The
maybe I could
best.
talk to my wife and like talk her into like letting us come home early. And Nick's like, "Why don't you just take a day off? One day,
Yeah,
like you
so
take
it's-
off."
Yeah, but that guy's awesome.
Well, it's funny because a few weeks ago, me and Shea were at McLean, and I don't think he was there, and we both look at each other, and we're like, "No,
Yeah.
where's Jason?"
Yeah.
He's
no,
so
but
good.
he's like every time like you guys come out and he gets into the here, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's the biggest hype.
He's the best hype man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
My-
His voice is just so
right,
good.
right.
Such a good
My
voice.
favorite thing about Jason is just like how like quick he like switches moods.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Where like I mean I started off hearing it with basketball, but it's even with you. But it's like 2-point basket, Patrick Baldwin, and then
Yeah.
you get 3-pointer,
Yeah.
Cold Gentry.
Yeah.
It's like hey, flip of the switch.
I know.
Like,
Well, and
Oh,
Megan works for Nick, and so does Ellie. And
Mhm.
Megan came up to me yesterday, and she's like, "Guess who's going to be the announcer at halftime shows for basketball
Oh
games?"
no.
Because she's like
Oh,
trying
man.
to
It's me, guys.
oh man.
They came up
I'm
to me.
excited.
They came up to me and Nick was like, I might have a job for you if you want it. And I'm like, what is it? And he goes, well, you know how you want to be a sideline reporter? And I was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, at the halftime at the basketball games, they need somebody to like MC it. And I was like, oh, you want that to be me? I'm like, I mean, like, I
be
guess,
great.
like, I'll do it.
You'll do great.
I'm like really nervous about it, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, there you go. That's
You're going to be
awesome.
hanging out with them even more.
Yeah, I know. But more so, I'm like,
You're
I like,
trying to sell her on it, Lainey.
I know. I'm like,
That's a selling point.
that was sold. I'm sold. I'm ready to go.
Print media people get free drinks, and I was
Yeah, absolutely. That's
a big
There
thing.
you go.
Send me like a DM on Twitter, and I'll run over. And
All right, sounds good.
Even
Got my
better.
back.
No, legit. That's the best part about doing games at the Netter Center, and that was the saddest part about the COVID season was they had to get rid of all their catered food and stuff. But like
Yeah.
for even like for small games, like they have like these really good like buffalo chicken wraps and stuff like that. And then you get to a big game like the NKU game, it's like catered Olive Garden.
Right.
There's, like,
The
I've never
best.
gotten those, and I hope they do it. I don't know if they
That's
are,
so
but I've
funny.
never gotten that.
right?
I bet they will.
They gotta.
Yeah.
I mean, like if they have like
They'll
a
bring it back.
they got to bring like a Chipotle bar this year. Like have like a
Oh.
full like Chipotle catered event here. Like yeah.
That would be good.
That would. And yeah, no doubt about it. Well, we are an hour and 10 minutes into this,
Yeah, I'm like,
which is unbelievable. But we had singing, we had walk-up songs, we had a lot of fun, and now we have NKU tomorrow. So my last question I'll ask is, what is your favorite gym in the Horizon League to play at, not McLean?
I'm like McLean, easy. That was the easiest question all night.
Curveball, not McLean.
Easiest question
Mic
all night.
drop.
Easiest question all night. Well, now it's difficult. McLean.
I have two different answers. I would say I do not enjoy the gym at NKU. The ceilings are too low. But other than that, I like playing at that location because that's where I'm from. So
Right.
all of my family from home and my friends from home, they all get to go watch, and it's just a big crowd for Wright State. I would say if we're talking about just gym, I think Green Bay has the best gym to play in. I think it stinks the depth perception a little bit, but you get used to it, and I think they have the best gym probably to play in.
Okay. When you go, just a really quick question. When you go to Oakland, do you play in like the lowered
Yes.
gym?
Yeah.
How is that? What do you think about that?
I
like
Oakland.
it.
You
I
like
like
it?
Oakland
Oakland.
gym.
The
I
only
don't-
thing
I
weird
don't like
about
watching
Oakland,
it.
the only-
Okay.
yeah, the only thing weird about Oakland is their floor is like a
Yeah.
lot.
I don't like
It's always in
watching.
your peripheral.
Their
Like, it's like,
floor is
oh, I
really
always
hard
see
to
it.
like follow the ball, on,
Right.
and you're like watching it. But definitely, I feel like it's not bad playing in it.
Gotcha.
Feel bad for the fans when they're watching.
Yeah.
What's your favorite, Meg? Cleveland State?
I don't know. I like Cleveland State obviously because that's where I'm like that's home for me. So
Mhm.
all my family and friends get to come. But I'm not a big fan of the gym itself. I think Robert Morris has a very nice
I
facility.
forgot about them.
Yeah.
But Green Bay I like Green Bay a lot.
Is that the Crest Center still?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean.
Huge.
So nice. And they
Which
have
is like it's nice that it's huge, but at the same time, it's like a little empty too because
Yeah.
not a lot of our
Right.
families
Yeah.
travel out
Right.
there.
they have a really nice video board too.
But yeah,
Mhm.
I like it more so for like the gym and the court.
Right.
It
Right.
would be Robert Morris.
Right. So we haven't played at PFW yet, but I'm from Fort Wayne along with Teddy Sauer, Nisa Baker, and
Mhm.
Taylor. So I'm assuming we're gonna have a huge crowd at PFW this year.
Yeah.
That would be
But
fun.
yeah, I'm really, really excited for it. So maybe that, but then also I like Green Bay a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really only have like 3 answers that I can give: Detroit, Indianapolis, and NKU, because that's the only time I've traveled.
Right.
But NKU's cool. Is NKU a different gym from where they play basketball at? I assume it is.
Yes.
I was gonna
They
say because I've
play
only been
at
to BB&T.
BB&T, and they do not play there for
Mhm.
volleyball.
Gotcha. Well, BB&T, I honestly thought it was It was really tight. Like,
Yes.
yeah, it's like really small compared to
Yes.
the like. It's the same like crowd capacity almost, but like it almost feels like you're like sinking down at
Yes.
NKU, and at Wright State you're like
It's very
expanding
open.
up. Mhm.
Yeah. it is.
So, well, we appreciate your time today. I won't take up any more of it, but Megan Alders, Lainey Stephenson, Ellee Ruskaup, thank you so much for taking your time here today. Congratulations on the outstanding start to the season. Best of luck in conference play, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you at the end of the year.
Yeah,
Cool.
thanks,
Thanks so much for having us.
Absolutely. Well, that's the end of our extended pregame show here at WWSU 106.9. Parker, Testa, and myself have the call coming up next live on WWSU's YouTube page and on WWSU 106.9. We'll see you there. Wright State Volleyball against Northern Kentucky. It's coming up next.